Hey everybody, my name is Klein. Today I'm going to be talking about the topic of physical activity and exploring many of the common misconceptions people have. So let's get right into it. Before I get into the misconceptions, I'm going to go over some of the reasons why people don't work out in the first place or enjoy physical activity. So the main reasons are fairly obvious, like they're just not motivated enough, they think it's boring, or like they want to, they can't get themselves to the gym. They keep failing over and over again. There's nothing wrong with any of these. Everyone's demotivated about things, like that's why people procrastinate. However, there is a solution, and I believe it is to make physical activity fun and more of a habit. For instance, when you plan a sport, it's more fun than, let's say, just working out, like doing push-ups or whatever. Exercises, you want to do the exercising more, so then it becomes a habit. And because it's a habit, or because it's becoming a habit, you'll find the exercises that you enjoy more and that you want to do it more. We start with the fact that many people believe that cardio is the best way to improve your physique. So cardio burns the most calories, which translates to more fat burn. But this only occurs actively while you're doing the cardio. I feel personally very strongly that strength training and just lifting weights is massively overlooked when it comes to fat burn and just improving your physique in general. And this also applies to females. Strength training elevates your metabolism, which in turn burns increased calories when you're not actively working out. The best way to burn fat would be strength training followed by cardio, because you can condition effectively after lifting weights, but you cannot lift weights effectively after a cardio session since you don't have enough energy. The second misconception is that weightlifting will bulk you up. This is probably the most common one. A lot of girls think that I shouldn't lift weights because I don't want to get too bulky, or even some guys are like, I don't want to lift weights because I'm going to get too bulky. That's not going to happen unless you're training intentionally for like years at a time. Calories don't care about how much time you spend in the gym. A calorie is a unit of energy. And while if you do usually work out for a longer period of time, you're going to usually burn more calories. That's just because, you're more energy you'll burn over more time. But a more intense short exercise can be better than a long exercise that's not very intense. For instance, if you were to sprint as hard as you can for like 10 minutes, that would be a lot of calories burned compared to walking for 30 minutes. So it's based on the intensity and how much energy you're spending. Whenever you do a long exercise, you shouldn't be at that high of an intensity because you're doing it for a long time, and if you want to at least recover the next day. And if you're doing a short workout, you should make it intense so you're actually getting something out of it. Static stretching is the act of, stretching but static, like this. If you were to hold a stretch for 20 to 30 seconds, and what that does is that it increases your range of motion and loosens your muscles and will help you recover from a workout. That's why people recommend that you always do it post-workout, because it's good for you. But although all those good things are true, you should not do it before a high intense workout, because when you stretch, you're loosening your muscles and you do have a greater range of motion. But let's say bench press, for instance, your muscles work by contracting and releasing. That's how they work. So whenever you stretch them, they're loose, they're not in a state that they normally are when you use them. So when you go, you're more prone to injury and you're weaker in general, which results in, less of an effective workout. So stretching is good. You should still warm up, but make sure to save the stretching for after, or do more of a warm-up stretch, not static. This is a common misconception a lot of people have, and advertisements and big companies are to blame for this one. While sports drinks do have many electrolytes that help us be hydrated to continue working out for long intervals, they are not the best way to go about hydrating. For instance, you could just take normal water, or you can take water with a very small pinch of Himalayan sea salt. Sports drinks can hydrate you, but they are not healthy. Just remember that. If your goal is to burn fat, go ahead, go in the morning. You are in a fasted state, your body's gonna use more of the energy stores you have instead of food that you just ate. So what that means is that you'll be burning fat, you'll be using your body's fat for energy. However, if you aren't doing this properly, muscle is also an energy store. So you do not wanna be, using your muscle as energy, because then it's counterintuitive. The time of day isn't gonna make you grow more muscle. The saying, no pain, no gain, is very common, and I do really like it because in order to gain or improve yourself, you need to put yourself through pain. But this pain shouldn't be, it's pretty obvious, but it shouldn't be actual pain. Your muscles should feel uncomfortable when you're working out. You should feel like you don't want to do more, but that's just your body responding to you. But if you're feeling pain when you're working out, if your muscles are like literally hurting you, or your joints, or just mentally, if it's literally hurting you, then you're not working out. You're hurt, you're injuring yourself. I mean, now it sounds pretty obvious, but overworking yourself because you feel like that's the mentality you need to have, you need to go all out every single workout, that's not the right mentality to have. Because what are you gonna do the next day when you're extremely sore? You're not gonna be able to lift as much weight as you could the day before. And what does that mean? You might have got a good workout the day before, but you can't recover fast enough, so your muscles can't grow even more. So essentially what I'm saying is soreness is a good indicator, but you shouldn't be sore for more than 72 hours about, because if you are, then you're working out too hard, which is affecting your recovery, which then will affect your next workout, making it less effective. And then that cycle is just gonna continue. Remember, consistency is key. People think you can target fat in your body and like where to burn it. So for instance, if I do crunches, then my stomach I'm gonna target the fat at my stomach. It's not how that works. Your fat is gonna burn through your entire body. So if you run enough, your fat's gonna burn from different regions. And as you start losing more and more fat, it's gonna start burning from different regions. So people are always like, I wanna lose belly fat. It's stubborn, I wanna lose stubborn belly fat. But the thing is, in order to lose belly fat, you have to lose other fat too. Basically, when you work out your abs are gonna grow in size as they grow in strength as well, because that's just how muscles work. That's how muscles grow. That's how you get stronger. It happens when you work out, but your fat is still gonna stay there. So if you want abs, you can grow your abs, but you can't target the fat on your belly. So you have to do other things to burn the fat. Also, one more thing, light weights don't tone you.
My name is Jeffrey Wagner. I go to Coronado High School. I'm really cool.
Matthew Lee, and I like dogs.
So during the week, I play lacrosse, and then on the weekends, I like to do weight routine, like work out my muscles, make them bigger. Then lacrosse is just cardio and memorizing plays and stuff.
Fun to lift heavy things.
For lacrosse, we do that 4 days a week, and then I like to take an off day and do workout weights on Saturdays.
Either 4 or 5 times a week because it's fun. I don't know, because it's fun. I don't know how else do you describe it. It's fun to lift heavy things.
I like to work out because it makes me feel like I'm improving myself, making myself better, because at a time in my life I didn't work out and I felt strange. Diet, do the Mediterranean diet, which is not a lot of grain and not a lot of processed food. I just like it because I didn't really eat the food before, but I had to put a title to it and I work out alongside it.
I don't know. I go outside, get vitamin D, it upregulates serotonin. I try to avoid like mono, like saturated stuff, or mono carbohydrates.
This message is sponsored by the future President of the United States.
Go. Sponsored by Gushers.